What's up, everybody? My name's Josh.
My name's Nick.
And we're here to give you
a reality check. That's it. Survivor 49, episode 8. We are back with the lovely, the beautiful, the talented Smey. Thank you so much for joining us, Mother.
Thank you for having me once again.
Smey, honey.
Yes, we're always so grateful. Always looking so beautiful and magnificent. You look as radiant as all of these castaways do. Episode 8. No, I'm just kidding. You look way better.
Wait. That whole video, you see that video going off track a little, but that girl, the Connie or Corinne.
Oh my God. About talking about how everybody in the new era is ugly.
Yes. Like, how mean was that?
I didn't see this video.
That was crazy.
Oh my God, I didn't see this.
Didn't see it?
No, I have not really been on
social media. We're all 4s and 5s, if that, and we are ugly and all these other things that she just can't stand it.
I mean, I definitely think that reigns true for some people from the new era, but like not everybody. That's crazy.
Listen, ugly person calling people who are attractive ugly is just invalid.
Yeah. Nick, I have it on my thing. You could, I'll have Chelsea send it to you. I posted a video with her words saying.
I would love to see that.
When you're washed up and you have nothing going for you, sometimes you just need to spill some sewage and see what's going to.
Yeah.
Oh my God, sewage. Write that down. There's an opportunity there.
Talking about sewage, we have everybody.
This episode. Oh, I have the sleepy ha-has tonight, everybody. So buckle up.
We're coming back from Nate getting the boo. We have our first jury member.
Poor Nate. Yeah, I like Nate.
Listen, with the fedora.
Wait, we will talk about that later because
Bruno Mars tease.
No, because who was that diva that walked into tribal council last night?
I miss his beard. Honestly, Nate, I think you should consider bringing the beard back because we talk about this every season. Nobody is attractive on the beach until they get that first layer of like mud on them. And then it's like, they're sitting by the fire and they're covered in dirt. And it's like, wait, like at the beginning of the season, I really did not think that Steven, I didn't think Steven was ugly by any means, but I was like, okay, I'm not super attracted to him. But then they had this clip of him. I think it was this episode where he was talking to Savannah, just sitting there, and he had a little dirt on him, and he was like man spread, and he was like, something. I was like, wait a second.
He has changed. There's something that has changed. He definitely. Yeah, there's something. You're right. I think it's the scruffiness around the face or something.
Yeah, it's like that, like 5 o'clock shadow and the mud, and like kind of like that, like. Not like the fat has come off, but like in the face, like the face is getting a lot more like chiseled and sunken. I don't know. It happened with Soul too. Like I was always attracted to Soul, but like when Soul got that like layer of dirt on him, I was like,
I need some water because I'm now parched thinking about Daddy's Soul.
And then when he came out in his vest, I know you two must have fallen over.
Listen, someone get the wooden spoon.
I'm still jealous of that wooden spoon, but I'm also jealous of this season's castaways because this is a very good pre-merge, and we had a very exciting twist this season, which I was not expecting personally. Top of the episode, we see that Sage, Joanne, and Steven, as much as everybody thinks that they're still kind of like flipping and flopping, they are secure with each other. Rizzo wants to break. What'd you say?
I said, that's all you need. You need to have, a good solid 3.
Yeah.
And
a little threesome, honey, is all you need.
Yeah, we see. Yeah, Rizzo's trying to make it 4 as a party, and Alex and Soph, while they still don't really know what they're doing, they know that they're going to do it together, which is good. I like these groupings. This is very much like the underdog team of Sage, Joanne, and Steven.
I really like Alex too. There's something about Alex that I love watching him, and I wish he'd even get more screen time. There's something about him that I enjoy watching him.
Yeah, I agree. I think we got a lot of him obviously because Kella was losing every week. But since the merge, I feel like we haven't really seen too much of him. And I think that might be intentional for him, trying not to come off as this alpha male politician vibe and, leading the charge too early. But I am excited to see.
Juwan got a lot of screen time too, right? Like it was nice to see how much he really was in a lot of the edit, I thought.
Yeah, Juwan has been dominating the edit.
Yeah,
he was super cringy the first couple episodes. I will still say, I need them, like, production, please edit out all of this Uncle Jeff shit. Like, I'm still over it. I will be honest. But I don't know. His confessionals are getting a little bit better. He definitely has his social game up more. I feel like with, like, Yuli, he was definitely on the bottom, and he was painted as the castaway that was going to be the first vote out or the easy vote of the group. But I think he's kind of solidified himself with that. Like we already said, with that Sage. Honestly, I really do think that Sage is holding him together right now.
Oh, 100%. I think she's got them.
Sage is like retransformation as a castaway.
Yeah.
Like, that edit shift that she has gotten. Mwah, mwah, chef's kiss to that.
Yeah, she's really flipped it.
It's interesting. I think that they're giving Sage and Juwan kind of similar edits of these, like, and this is just the best way that I can put it, of like these authentic weirdos. Sage is, they're the same edit, but kind of in different fonts. Like Juwan is being himself in a way that's kind of socially awkward and, kind of uncomfortable at times. And Sage is being herself in a way that's like a little abrasive at times, but, kind of out of left field. So like when you think about the way that they're being edited, it makes sense that they would have come together as a pair.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see. And it's also interesting to see who else has been dominating the edit this episode. The antithesis of these two is Savannah. So it's kind of like the underdogs versus, Mother Gothel, who's coming in to battle them, But it was interesting. How do we feel about Ms. Savannah? Because she dominated a lot of this episode. For good, for bad.
I literally wrote down, I will always stand Savannah. I see why the public does not like her, but she will still be my diva.
Oh, wait. I didn't know the public didn't like her.
There is a very tumultuous reaction, very back and forth reaction with Savannah. Some people think that she is, mother, girl boss, that she's like out there living her diva fantasy, and other people think basically that she's a bitch, which I think is just true of the Survivor fan base. I think it goes as far back as when Cass put a name on it and said, if this was a man playing like this, people would love it.
Yeah.
So that's how I kind of feel about Savannah. She's not my mother. She's not my, ultimate SmackDown diva supreme, but I like her gameplay.
Sorry.
I guess you didn't like my answer.
No, I was trying to answer, but I started yawning. I'm impressed, and I didn't expect this much strength out of her and this much, like running the show and playing the game hard. And, like I felt like we didn't have a lot of her the whole beginning of this show. Right. And now all of a sudden she's just, dominating.
Yeah. I feel like go ahead, Josh.
I said it last week. I feel like she has a leadership role in this cast. I feel like she is kind of like, I don't want to say the ringleader or like, is the ring. I'm thinking of like in a circus where you have the person.
The ringleader.
No, I mean, she is. I really do think that she's the ringleader. I feel as though she's calling the shots. And listen, just because I stand someone doesn't mean that I'm going to agree with them 100%. I will also stand here and be like, there are times where she's playing the victim. Like, there are times where she's like, little old me, poor old me, look at me at the bottom. We saw this episode. She was trying to latch onto Sage and be like, oh my God, like, you know what I mean? She was trying to become a part of the minority that became the majority. And she's trying to gain control, which is great gameplay. Like, I'm not going to discredit that gameplay, but as a fan watching the show unravel, you can see how this looks. Like I can acknowledge that and be like, yeah, I can see why people would call you a bandwagon bitch. Like, I get it. I see it. I still stand you. I still.
Well, let me pose this question though. The first portion of this game in the tribe dynamic, Savannah, the majority of Savannah's edit was picking on Jawan for just his little personality quirks, grabbing the wrong bag, doing this, whatever. Now Savannah is on the bottom and finding it hard to break into this group, which she isolated in the beginning of the game. So it almost feels like, here's a taste of your own medicine, you know? And now that you're in the position that I was in, you didn't throw the life raft to me, so why would I throw it to you? And I think that the edit of this episode of her was very interesting because it starts off of her feeling like really lost, feeling like she isn't a part of any larger group in the tribe, and she was blindsided, which she was. Then we get this very emotional backstory from her to set her up later for an immunity win as this like comeback, you can overcome your past moment. And then she gets the advantage. So it's, are you hiding another yawn?
Yeah, sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
Just like blur my face out when it happens.
So it's just interesting because we got like a very, I don't want to say surface level explanation of what Savannah went through with her previous employer, but it felt very surface level. It felt like we know she's going to win immunity, so we have to throw in this ability for the viewers to connect with her. And like,
but
to
you know,
me,
I feel like this it's always bound to happen. You have the people that are on top, you have the underdogs, and you slowly, I feel like it always happens, other than last season, with the men, the group of the men and stuff. But like, I feel like it slowly happens and it evolves into, the opposite way. And, I could see it's almost like she deserved to be pushed back because she didn't like any of them. She didn't like Juwan. She wanted, Sage out, and so like it's almost like karma that what you put out there comes back to you, but in the same breath. And I've always not known how I felt about her. I guess because she was always on top and running the show and calling the shots. But when you get pushed to the point where I know when you break, and I know a lot of people don't want to share those moments of now everybody from work that she used to work with, everyone she knows from wherever she was is going to hear that, and they're going to be pissed. And they're, like she really is now very vulnerable. And this show does that to you. And it makes you get to the point where you can't keep it in anymore. And it brings back childhood, traumas. You're raw at this point. There's so many days in, so much pressure. Even when she was riding high, it's not, you're sort of stronger, but when you finally get that slap in the face, you're raw, and it just shoots you down that rabbit hole. So I think it was real. I don't think it was crocodile tears, and I think because I've been in her shoes, like it got me because I felt like it was real, even though the way they did it was just thrown in there so quick. And like the way it happened, like you're saying, is how they put it in, as the edit. I'm sure it was way deeper than that as well. But when you're feeling left out and, like not a part of the group, which she did that too. But like now when you're that person that's being left out, when she's probably not used to that at all, other than way back when, it's a tough thing to handle, and you're raw out there. So
yeah, I feel for her. I definitely, I don't have any, doubt of whether or not the moment itself was like disingenuous. I think it was a very real moment for Savannah, especially you can tell that she is the type of woman to, open up the filing cabinet of emotions, put things in there and deal with them later. She doesn't seem she doesn't seem like a very outwardly emotional, publicly emotional person. And you can tell that she was almost making herself uncomfortable talking about it, but it just had to come out. I just wish they would have kind of finessed the edit a little
Yeah.
bit.
I just feel like the edit, to me, in my opinion, especially like when this whole sit around the campfire and sing some campfire songs moment happened when she is vulnerable, it just, for me, felt as though production or someone with the camera said, okay, Savannah, so now tell your trauma story to Steve right now. Like that's just how I interpreted it. I do feel like her emotions talking about the conversation was raw. I didn't like the build up to that moment.
Yeah.
Felt like it was very much just like, cut. Okay, now Savannah, talk. Like that's just how it felt.
Yeah.
Yeah, the edit was a little wonky for sure, but one of the edits I did love this episode, a little bit more of a positive note, was our girl, Miss Ray of Sunshine herself, Christina, finds an immunity idol.
Hey, I'm so happy for her.
Yeah, this just goes to show you that, like, you never know. You just got to be looking in the right places, you know? And for the first time, I think, maybe in the new era, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first idol awarded with no strings attached. There's no beware on the paper. There's no complete it. There's no task. It's just an idol. Congratulations, you found it.
Was it a shock?
Yeah,
I was shocked too. Yeah.
Like, it was the same way that when Jeff just gave them the merge buffs.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, they just get them? Because everything in the new era has been you have to earn it, down to your flint, your machete, and your rice. So it's like,
well,
you
no
just,
rice.
Well, right.
Yeah.
So it was crazy to me that she opened it, and I started writing as the music changes and she starts smiling. I literally started writing Christina finds beware, and then I crossed it out and wrote idol because I just assumed it was going to be a beware advantage, and it wasn't.
And even that was a little bit uneventful too, right? In a way.
Yeah, she found it, and then they were like, "Oh, cool," and cut.
Like normally they show like the zoom in of it, and like there wasn't like a dramatic thing. She's like, "Oh, here, oh wow, I got an idol," you know, like it was interesting to edit.
I could have.
I don't know if you both froze.
I could have swore that Alex was going to find that idol. Like I literally wrote down, Alex will find idol, production do better. And then right underneath that, I said, ate my own words, Christina, you diva.
Well, that's what I was you just took the words out of my mouth, because I was just about to say the entire lead up of that moment was confessionals from Alex about how we are preemptively idol searching. It's a defensive move. We're not offensively on the hunt for the idol, but like if we find it now, that means someone else doesn't have it. And I'm like, okay, so it's about to be like, I want to find it so bad. There it is. But then they hit us with the bait and switch, and Christina found it. So, just goes to how much I know.
Our diva hasn't really gotten much confessional, much camera time. She isn't really beasting in challenges. She's not super social, or we're not showing. We're not seeing her play. And like, I am so sorry that these words are going to come to my mouth, but it's just true. Like me and Nick are in a Survivor fantasy where like we vote every week. I have never given her one vote because I can see them bringing her to the end. Like, I don't want to say that she's the scapegoat, but like,
Christina is definitely on track to be goated to the end.
She's not a threat. She's not a threat.
Yeah, physically, like she's not gonna run away with the immunities at the end. Like I think she could have. I think if she's gonna have an argument at Final Tribal, it's set up to be an emotional one and a social one.
Absolutely. I think everybody likes her, right? Is there anybody that doesn't like her?
Yeah, I don't think there's been one confessional even about Christina.
True.
Like, just at all. Like, I'm serious. Like a reality check, honey. Like there haven't been any confessionals where people are like, wow, Christina is just so nice. Or like, Christina's not really giving. Like, nobody's really discussing her the way that like people are discussing Rizzo and Juwan and Savannah and Sage. Like, she's not, no one's talking about her, which is weird.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting to see.
Talking about things. This challenge.
Wait, talking about things.
No, because let's talk about it.
No, let's talk about it. This is the hottest tea of 2025. it is crazy to me, absolutely insane to me, that the first 6 episodes of this show, we got 3, maybe 2 confessionals from Sophie. And then not only does she win the first immunity challenge, she then goes on to this episode being the main chopping block target with one other person. And we got 2 confessionals in 6 episodes from her. Talking about somebody that's not being talked about when they're talking about everybody and people are talking about her, you know?
Right.
That's the challenge.
Can you say that again?
Listen, she also was a sleeper comp beast. I didn't expect her to be
I know.
pulling out.
Yeah.
She's
amazing.
Sue, how do you, because the only time on your season that there was split challenge was the challenge that you actually won, which was when it was men versus women for the weight challenge.
Right.
Is this something that you like, that you were like, okay, like this is cool? Like, I personally thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
So,
well, it changes the game a little. You're talking about having like a male, like 2 wins, 2 people winning.
2 groups. They had like, and then 1 full group.
Yeah. No, that I thought that was pretty cool, and it's a change. Like it's a nice, much needed change, you know. And having the one whole group go and getting their food, and then they're sitting pretty, and the other one going to tribal. I like it. I'm always up for something new and different, and not knowing what's happening.
I agree. I love when there are twists in the game that do not force like people's hands or like too directly like force the fate of specific people. Like this was just a bigger immunity challenge. In my mind, this was like a tribe win, like when season 48, like 7 out of 9 people didn't have a vote. Like that is when I'm like, we don't need these twists. But to force and kind of encourage camaraderie with these groups of people who may not have originally grouped up together, I think is exciting because it will trickle into the gameplay of like, well, I never thought to sit down with, Sage and whoever. So I enjoyed it. I think
that's what's so cool about this too, is that if it was just one person that got immunity, if it was just a whole group going in, it was pretty obvious who, like, I just feel like there's a power group, that can come in, take over. You already know, who basically are on the bottom. But now it flipped again because now, the people that were most likely on the bottom are on the top and running the show. And so I like that, advantage that some lucky loser or winner is the winner when you could have been the one voted out.
Yeah. Sage, I have a question. Now they split them up into 2 smaller tribals. Did you, going through the game, have a preference? Did you like when the tribals were bigger towards the beginning of merge, or did you like when they kind of got weeded down into more intimate size tribals?
It was much, when it was bigger, I feel like you felt safer because there were too many other people. Like for me, I could sit back and see who was annoying everyone and who was going to be the next target. And you sort of, when it's really big like that, you just got to stay safe because there's too many things going on and too many people showing their hands, and you need them to be the target. When it's
smaller, keep quiet and don't piss anybody off.
I watched Gabe, dig his own grave. You'd see him running through the woods. You'd see him talking to everybody. He was playing hard, and, certain people were just painting, Rome, like that whole first, the first merge when we were together, he was really driving playing everybody, going up and having a heart to heart with everybody. And, he walks away and everybody was just like, okay, he's just playing too much. We got to get rid of him. So it's easy to point the finger at somebody else than in a smaller, you can't hide, you cannot hide. You couldn't hide, with this small group.
Yeah, that's true. I was always curious because some people who like really love the gameplay, might love that there is nowhere to hide, put your chips out there. But I can imagine that when it's bigger, it's kind of like, like don't look at me,
Gotta let someone dig their own grave, and they do.
So moving into this challenge, we've been talking all about it, but we haven't addressed it. 2 groups. We have Steven, Christina, Alex, Soph, and Savannah versus Sage, Sophie, Rizzo, Juwan, and MC in a very classic Survivor challenge. I would drop so quickly in this challenge. This challenge is now built for me. Me and my effed up dancer feet.
I don't agree with you. I think that people like you and Sue would eat this challenge up. You have a small foot, Sue.
A small foot, Josh. We have the same size feet. Literally, we wear the same size shoe.
Yeah, but like your foot is just like you're just more petite. Like Sue, you would probably win this challenge.
I actually wanted, when I saw what that challenge was, I was praying because that was the one challenge I practiced for. I took 2x4s at home. I put them in my kitchen and just stand on like the edge of them for as long as I could. So I practiced for that one. I wanted that one.
Like you are lightweight, you're strong, and you have a small.
And you can still use like the walls,
exactly. Like when I saw this challenge, I'm like, okay, Juwan. I was shocked that Sage lasted as long as she did because I'm like, Sage, you're basically 6 foot. I don't know how tall you actually are, but like you're a big.
Tall.
She's
what
so
about Rizzo?
tall.
I was shocked Rizzo fell. He's so tiny.
Yeah, honestly, I was impressed with the men. I feel like challenges like this typically go out to the girls because like the things you're saying, the weight distribution and all the things like that, smaller feet, less weight to hold up. But, the men put up a good fight. I think the last man standing was
Juwan,
which, I think Juwan is probably the heaviest guy out there.
Yeah, no, he did good. He was impressive.
He was shaking in his boots. I love that when they're like, and they're like dripping in sweat. Oh my God. I will say, very rarely do I notice Jeff in these challenges. As you watch Survivor for years, you kind of tune him out a little bit. But this challenge specifically, I was like, shut up. Please shut up. Just let them sit there and grit it out. Every 5 seconds, it was little movement from Soph, little movement from. I'm like, okay. Like they're shaking. We know. We can see that.
Yeah. Are we going to talk about the zoom in on the nail polish, the whole episode of that challenge? I feel like we were giving foot fetish that like Dan Schneider of Nickelodeon would have.
I was just about to say that. Oh my God. I was just about to say that.
I can't stand when they zoom in on feet.
I hate it. It's probably my least favorite thing that they do in the challenges because I don't like. You could take a picture of the prettiest, cleanest feet in the world with the best manicure, pedicure, whatever the one goes on the feet, pedicure you've ever seen, and I still probably would go like this. It's just not for me. It's not my thing. It's not my thing.
I don't mind.
You don't mind? Did you like those toes?
No, Josh was sucking on toes.
I've sucked on some toes.
I was kidding. Oh my God.
It's not a fetish, but yeah, I've sucked on some toes. I'll suck on some toes.
What?
Fresh out the shower, I'll suck on some toes.
Look at Nick.
Wait, we need to take a moment and just acknowledge, like, there was this whole, like, cattiness of, like, Soph being like gloating of Sav just like smiling, and Jeff was stirring the pot towards the last like 2 minutes of this challenge.
I think that Sophie was just a little like miffed about Jeff being like, wow, Savannah looks so solid, and Sophie's over here like,
yeah,
so it's kind of like
that's hard, right?
Off.
Well, that's the whole mind game, right? Like if you're like struggling, barely hanging on, and he's like, oh, and look at Josh over there. He's not even sweating. He's not budging. And Nick's sliding down the wall. It's like deflating, right?
He knows.
Why am I the one who's losing?
I'm sorry. Why don't we rephrase that and do it again?
No, we'll just take it out.
Holding himself up and he's solid as a rock.
Sorry.
slithering down the wall.
Don't worry, I'll just edit the whole thing out. We all know, we all watched the episode. Sage, Savannah takes the win, and not surprisingly, Christina was the first one to drop. So we see that, and you know what? Christina was over there like, woo! Like when Savannah
He fell off the chair.
Oh my god. When Jeff said Savannah's name, she was like, yeah! Like, because once again, Christina got drunk over the finish line to safety. This girl, I hope the second that she got home from Fiji, she went right to Wawa and bought a lottery ticket, okay? Because every week they're like, come on, girl. Oh my god. And now she has an idol.
I know. I think that they put it right in front of her. Production walked up and said, "Hey, Christina, watch." Bing. And then she went like, "Look what I found."
So Savannah wins. We also learned that Savannah, they eat their little deli sandwiches. They do the little 1-2
Those sandwiches looked so good.
They looked so mediocre, and that's all I gotta say.
Thank you. I love a hoagie so bad. I am a hoagie.
Sandwich?
Ho.
A sandwich.
I'm a hoagie.
You're a hoagie ho.
A hoagie ho, honey.
As we all saw, Savannah gets the win, but she also goes to Tree Mail, gets her advantage, and she gets to go to the other camp, go sit on the tribal council, and potentially cast another vote. Savannah literally has the power to change the whole game. If she wanted to play manipulation girl down, she could have been like telling everybody basically to vote for one person, and then she chooses who goes home. If she wanted to play that.
Yeah.
You know what could have been a really fun twist, like another layer to this onion of this advantage, is to give her like the options that she had to, but if she wanted to regularly vote, she could, fine. But if she wanted to save the vote, she had to steal it from someone that was on the beach and pocket their vote. So it became a steal a vote or a regular vote. Like she could pick, because that would really change the game if she took away someone's vote and they thought they were voting at 6 or 5. I think it could have been a cool element to add in a steal a vote. Or if she like didn't even want to go to the beach, but they were like, pick someone to steal their vote from here, and none of them will know until they get to tribal council. Like that could have been. But I like this advantage. It was new. It was different. I just think that they could build on it. Yeah.
I did like that she didn't use it too. I liked that she saved it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would have loved for there to be an option for her to like swap somebody. Like do like a swap, like save somebody who's on at tribal and switch them with someone who won. They still get the reward, but now they're holding
power though.
That oh my god, so much power. So much power.
Or like it could be cool if like say Savannah got to pick 2 people to go play a game. And if the winning person wins, they stay, and if the losing person wins, they switch.
Yeah.
Like so many fun options. Production, like we always say, get us in the room.
Were you guys surprised the way, like with all of the chit-chatting on the beach, were you surprised at the ultimate outcome of tribal council?
Yes.
Yes.
I thought Rizzo was going.
I was so surprised. You know what? Let's talk about it. Tribal council.
Because let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. There wasn't too much that happened at the winner's meal other than just like Savannah leaving, and the pre-tribal was kind of crazy. It was kind of boring until Savannah got there, and then we like jumped right to tribal. So we might as well just grab our torches and head there. I did like Savannah saying that she felt like a hot Grim Reaper. I like that this whole discussion of tribal was like the tribal lines, because now not only have we merged you, but now we split you up again. So it's like, are they blurred? Are you still hanging on to Uli, Hina, and Kella? Like, where are those lines drawn? There weren't even any Kella members at this vote, so it's really Uli versus Hina.
Right.
But I didn't even realize that.
Yeah. Alex and Soph are the final countdown for Kella, but they weren't here. They were on the winning tribe. But Nate and his fedora soaking it all in. I was shocked by this elimination. I thought that there was going to be a more grandiose move made. Yeah. I thought that maybe Sophie was going to play a shot in the dark. I thought maybe MC was going to play a shot in the dark. Rizzo was going to play an idol. But again, Rizzo's intuition.
Well, I have to tell you something. I really thought Sophie was playing the whole time. I never thought she was in danger. I thought she thought they had a game plan. They were all going to go for Rizzo. She was going to act like they want to make Rizzo feel safe. And do you think she was worried?
I mean, I think all of them were worried, but I don't know. I thought
she was just playing it up. I thought she was very confident on the beach pre-tribal, and I just felt like she was just playing it up.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like they all, at that point, there's so few of them having so many conversations that, like, the last conversation you have is how you end up feeling at tribal. And I don't know if it was this big soapbox moment from Sophie that, like, maybe that did persuade everybody right at the end. But I want to know what the conversation was that MC got up and had. Because after she sat down, everybody looked real calm.
Yeah.
Everybody. So it's like, because they're talking to MC and Sophie. So either they're like, Sophie, we're just going to go with the original plan. She's crazy. Or they're like, MC, she's crazy. We're going to go with your plan. So it's like, I just would have loved to get some subtitles on that very first conversation.
I have a hot take.
Okay. Piping hot. The hottest tea of 2025.
This is the hottest take of 2025. I hate a live tribal. I hate the stand-up chat. I hate it all. I'm sorry. Once you put that torch in its holder and you're sitting in front of Jeff, you speak when he asks you to speak, and other than that, you make eye contact. And if the eye contact isn't being read through the eyelashes and the dirt on the face, honey, you are SOL. And not.
I disagree because Jeff always says that this is your game. And I think as long as you're not being outwardly disrespectful and interrupting Jeff and talking over him, getting up at tribal council is you helping to determine your fate in the game. So I disagree. I think that live tribals are extremely exciting. And I think it's part of the game. You know, nothing is final until that urn is opened and that last vote is read, you know, like, so.
Let me ask you, Juwan got up, and who did he go speak to, MC or Sophie?
MC. Well, MC got up and pulled Juwan.
Okay.
And then Juwan went to speak to Sophie.
So I'm just curious. I'd love to know what happened that this flipped and they got MC, right? Like, I don't know. I just really thought MC was going to be safe. I was shocked if they got MC out.
I understand both of them. I am just also confused. Like, why? Yeah. Like, you have just seen Sophie 2 days in a row win, if not come in second place.
Yeah.
You know she is a threat. Do I think MC is a threat? 100%. Do I think that she is a physical, strong beast? 100%. But right now, these are the facts. The facts is Sophie is the girl to beat. She's the castaway. She's not the girl. She is the castaway to beat.
But everybody knows that, you know. So she's a meat shield. The reason that we're not looking at it in that sense, honestly, is because she's not a man. If Jake were here and he had won the first one and almost came in first on the second one, it would be like, let's keep him because he's the meat shield for now, and everybody's going to want to go the next time he loses. Let's get MC out now because she's not in our little group, you know? Like, I think it's
What
the same
about Rizzo
person.
though? Like Rizzo has an idol. He's announced it. They all know he has an idol. Why are they?
Jeff is talking about it.
I know, and he's powerful with Savannah, and they're a power couple. Like, why? I just don't understand why they weren't thinking of breaking up the Savannah Rizzo power couple, because they are a power couple, and I think they can manipulate the game and control the game.
I think that they don't see Rizzo as a threat because, like,
Really?
let's be real, he's not really that good at the challenges.
I also think Rizzo's just kind of like RICGOG, you know, like, so it's kind of like,
baby.
yeah. So I think that there maybe is an element of like wolf in sheep's clothing with him. And I also like, I know that like outwardly, from what I understand, Rizzo and Savannah are friendly, but I don't know if with the Nate vote, now maybe that people assume that they're like shattered or something. Because Rizzo was trying to get in with Joanne and Sage, kind of like excluding Savannah from that. So maybe they were like, okay, well, we have Rizzo going forward. I don't know. There are so many nuances, and I feel like we've been getting so much content on portions of the episode that don't matter as much. And then we get to the pre-tribal portion, and we go into tribal feeling like we didn't get any of the information to make the vote make sense.
Yeah.
That's how I felt in a lot, specifically this season, but a lot of the new era too. Like the pre-tribal is just kind of jumped over.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody feels the same way.
No, I agree. I agree. The only pre-tribal that I can think of off the top of my head in the new era that like was giving like cinematography was, I want to say, Sue, it was your season when we had this.
I know exactly what tribe you're talking about. And Rachel was running around in the last minute, and she told somebody something. Maybe it was Soul. She told Soul something right before tribal, and then he told someone else, and it got back to her literally 5 minutes before, and the sun is setting.
During tribal was like bugging out.
Yeah.
Like that was like,
I think you saw like the caption on the screen, it said like producer, and it was like, Rachel, you need to line up, and she's still like, if you like still trying, and then remember it like faded to black as the sun was setting. It was so good. That tribal, yeah. I knew exactly what you were talking about when you started to say
it was
cinematic.
like faces of everybody. Oh my god, it was so good. It was so good. It was so good.
But speaking of so good, another tribal in the books, MC. Unfortunately, her torch was snuffed, and Savannah put a vote in her pocket. So I'm curious to see if anybody's going to catch on to that, since it was such a majority vote. Jeff wouldn't have technically read the last vote, so she might just say mine was, mine was still in the pot, But we shall see. We shall see. I really liked MC. MC was actually my bracket winner pick for the season, and I'm sad to see her go so soon.
Yeah, I liked MC a lot. There was not one time I was rooting for her. I really was hoping she could go farther.
I feel like we as viewers were able to connect with her. She's our age. She very much was vocal about the fact that she got into Survivor from just wanting to hang out with some friends one random day. And I don't know, I felt like she really put her all into it. And it's really sad to see a good castaway go.
Yeah, I agree.
MC just seems like a good time gal, like I feel like I could call her if I want to go to the beach, if I want to get, burgers at a new place that opened up, if I want to go for a drink. Like MC just seems like a good time gal,
Yeah.
And MC, if you're ever in Philly, is she from Philly?
No, I don't know where.
Well, if you're ever in Philly, Reality Check owes you a beer.
Right.
Or whatever kind of.
The tab is on at Nick_Kirsch.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well,
Jay, that Stokeham isn't paying for it. All right, everybody. A little reality check update. We are going to be losing a co-host for 2 weeks. Josh will now be joining us because he is going on a little getaway to Costa Rica for 2 weeks. But be sure to stay tuned because Sue and I have some very special guests lined up for you next week. And as a little teaser, it was somebody that Sue was very close with on her season. So be sure to tune in for that next week. And as always, thank you so much, Sue, for joining us. Be sure to check her out, Sue Smey S47, all things Sue, all the happenings and the whereabouts of Mother Sue.
SueSmey.com.
SueSmey.com. Check out all of those links and be sure to show us some love on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and everything in between. And as always, we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.